All right, YouTube, what we're doing today is we're going to extend the wheelbase of the Vaterra. And by doing that, it took me a while to understand what I needed to buy in order to do that, because the website was really unclear on what I needed to purchase. But I did some digging around and found that I needed to get these link spacers. See if the camera can focus in on that. Get the link spacers. Order these from Tower Hobbies. And also you need these little all thread set screws. Try to get that part number in frame. You need that to add to these links in the chassis, or the metal links, because in the chassis you've got an adjustment here to slide these back. If I can get that in frame, the upper link and the lower link will have to be inserted with one of these bushings, and then this one here just slides back to this screw hole. But in order to get this one here the same length, that's what those little spacers are for. So we'll tire into this thing and try to get it extended. It appears that it'll be lengthening the wheelbase by approximately a ½ inch. And that, I believe, will help get up some steep inclines. So I think it'll help it in crawlability. So we'll get this thing lengthened out some and see how it goes. And once you've got the axle floating here kind of loose, now we can go ahead and take out the screws here in the frame, go ahead and slide this back. Now I'm not sure if this will come up on camera, but it appears we're going to have an issue right here with the length of this screw. We may have to cut it off, because once it comes back to this hole here, it may get into the drive shaft. But we'll take a look at that when we get there and see if that needs something to take care of. First thing I'm going to do is make sure this drive shaft spline is long enough to do this extension, which it is. It's plenty long enough. And just as I expected, this screw is definitely too long to clear the drive shaft. I hope the camera's getting that, but this screw is protruding too far through here. I'm gonna get in my little junk box of screws, see if I can find one. I guess that's a 3 mil, and if not, we'll cut this one and make it work. Okay, I didn't find a screw that was the right length for me, so I will have to cut this. Before I tighten that and all the way up, I'll finish putting the other side in. Then we'll kind of see how many of these spacers we've got to use for this particular extension of the wheelbase. Okay, with the upper links now extended, you'll see that this side is entirely too short to reach the axle the ears on this little axle mount here. And as you can see, the stock all thread versus the kit that I just showed you, it's quite a bit of difference, and that's to allow for that spacer. So we'll get, excuse me, when you insert these, make sure you leave the Allen head to the outside so you can tighten it up here. So just run this in a little bit. Not sure if my arm's in the way or not here, so that should be enough. Then we'll open these spacers and we'll see what one does for sure. I'm hoping that's enough because I'm not for sure if we'll have another option as far as lengthening it. I'm going to put the factory spacer back in. See what this looks like here. Oh yeah, that's all we need. So see, now it'll reach just fine to this the ears here on the axle. So that's all we need to do. Instead of adding to this end that already has a spacer in it, you just break the back side loose and put your spacer on this side. And the main reason I made this video is I looked at the way these links were designed on the Vaterra, and I wasn't exactly for sure, like I mentioned earlier, how to extend the wheelbase. So I got on, I think it was actually Horizon Hobbies website, excuse me. And when I saw these spacers in the color that they were, and of course the size they were, and then it really didn't even list, you know, buying these as well. It was listed that customers that bought these spacers also purchased this. So I just assumed that those were needed, and I'm glad I ordered those as well, because that's what you have to have back here in this piece to get enough room to put your spacer. Get that other link. Oh yeah, that's going to be very nice. Okay, so I can go ahead and tighten up these. Now when I get these links tight, I want to make sure that it floats very good. And in fact, I may have to loosen these up just a little. Seems like it was binding. See, we've got a lock nut there, so I'm not really worried about them coming loose. Loose that up a little bit. Oh yeah, we've got plenty of travel, very free. Feels nice. Okay, so I'll go ahead and get these links and the shocks put back together. Try to do this as quickly as possible. And once again, as I get this one tight, I'll feel and make sure that it moves freely. Get this one on as well as the shock. Once again, we'll get that together, make sure everything moves. We've got plenty of clearance up here where this screw was too long, so the drive shaft, it's not going to hit anything. So now we get the tires back on it, the body back on it, and we'll see what it looks like. Oh yeah, that's definitely longer, guys. Yeah, the original link was in this hole here, and we moved it back to that, extended the bottom with those spacers, and now we've got a good 1/2 inch longer wheelbase. Oh yeah. Yeah, that looks a lot better. That'll definitely help it climb vertically a little better because that's lengthened out some. You have a Vaterra, I'm not for sure what parts to order. And once again, it's the VTR 235330. That's in focus, I hope. That's the cup point screw set, and then the aluminum spacers are the VTR 2340/30. That's what you'll need to extend the wheelbase of the Vaterra Ascender. And I assume that it works the same on their Bronco or their Blazer or whatever. So if you guys want to lengthen your wheelbase just a little bit, right at a 1/2 inch, as you can see, we'll see how this comes out on the rocks and see if it helps it out a little bit as far as its vertical climbing. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Hope it was informative and not too boring or too long. Like and subscribe, and I'll keep bringing updates from time to time on our crawlers and our planes and our Creighton and Outcast, the Bashers. So hope you guys enjoyed the video.